Hello, BookTube. I wanted to make, I'm trying to participate in Shorty September, so I'm trying to read short books, and one of the ones I've read that I really like is Ethan Frome by Edith Wharton. I read this version, this little Dover trade paperback, but I wanted one that looked a little nicer, so I got one from the library. But then I noticed that they both, aptly so, they both have like a like a snow sled hill as the cover, which makes sense. I don't want to spoil the plot. That was the spark that ignited my love for this book. I was already really enjoying, just like, this was my first Edith Wharton that I've read, and I really love the way she writes. I mean, there's not a visible flaw anywhere in this book. There's only spots that pop off the page and make you say, wow. Like, it's a great book. It's a short read. It was only like 80 pages, but it took me a few weeks because, like, I would reread parts a lot. I did have trouble figuring out what was going on at first, because I kind of got lost in the narrative. It starts with someone meeting an old Ethan Frome and wondering what's caused this man to be this way, because he's very, like, injured, and he's hobbled and miserable and quiet, and so then she gets to meet him, and we're told the story of Ethan Frome. Really, like, I mean, not his whole story, but what the significant event of his life that occurred that changed the path of everything afterward. There was one specific event, and that's what this book is about. It's really wonderful. I'm really reading it at the wrong season, but I mean, year-round masterpiece. But like, it's definitely a winter book. There's like sledding and skating and just very wintry feeling too, like the somber and dark and reflective atmosphere. I wanted to share a couple of my favorite lines from the book, to give you a sense of what the writing is like. I really enjoy her descriptive writing. So at the beginning of chapter 3, the winter morning was as clear as crystal. The sunrise burned red in a pure sky. The shadows on the rim of the woodlot were darkly blue, and beyond the white and scintillating fields, patches of far-off forest hung like smoke. Like, I had not seen too much done with that, of like nature being compared to like inanimate objects, and it makes like this almost surrealist picture in my mind of like leaves being like a smoky substance. Yeah, I don't know. But the writing is so vivid and so textural. It sends your mind on these little tangents, or at least it sends mine on them. This one I really liked. This is just, he's trying to buy glue because he broke something. He wants to put it back together. So he's running to the store. First store is like, you want this like super expensive glue or whatever. And he's like, no, I don't want it. And he goes to the next one. And here, after considerable search and sympathetic questions as to what he wanted it for, and whether ordinary flour paste wouldn't do as well if she couldn't find it, the widow Homan finally hunted down her solitary bottle of glue to its hiding place in a medley of cough lozenges and corset laces. That was all one sentence. That is so beautiful. It's like setting the scene of the whole store that hasn't really been established yet. it hasn't really fully been established because he just walks in looking for glue. So over the course of one sentence in response to not even him requesting it, that was him arriving there. So his arrival, the exposition, the dialogue between them, and the eventual subject happening, all are contained in that one sentence. That's brilliant. That's great writing. And that's one way this book can be so short and so kind of dense, but I would call it dense. But I would also call it rich, like dense in the same way as like I was about to do an analogy, but it's not worth it. Not when I'm competing with Edith Wharton here. Loud noises. I'm in downtown Akron again, as is obvious. There's an argument that happens, and it's happening in the darkness of the home because there's no electric lamps or anything. Through the obscurity which hid their faces, their thoughts seemed to dart at each other like serpents shooting venom. Ethan was seized with horror of the scene and shame at his own share in it. It was as senseless and savage as a physical fight between two enemies in the darkness. I've been in that type of argument before. I have. That's a great way to put it. Like you and someone that you know suddenly are like in practical combat with the words you're saying to each other. And thankfully it doesn't happen as often anymore. There was one more line I wanted to read. I remember now. The clumps of trees in the snow seemed to draw together in ruffled lumps, like birds with their heads under their wings, and the sky, as it paled, rose higher, leaving the earth more alone. So this time it isn't an inanimate object, but this is she's describing again the trees, the leaves in the trees, but this time as like nestled up birds. Which that just gives me more imagery. Like, it's really a wonderful book. I am excited to read more Edith Wharton, and I think everyone should read her too. That's how it seems so far. At least Ethan Frome. So thanks for watching Book 2. I'll see you next time. Bye.